Hi, I'm Don Ferguson, the producer of Florida Keys Dive Odyssey, the video series that unveils the actual GPS coordinates of the top dive sites in the Florida Keys. The Florida Keys are an archipelago of over 200 islands, extending from the Florida mainland in a southwesterly arc to the dry Tortugas. The upper and middle keys are the exposed portions of an ancient coral reef. 135,000 years ago, the Florida Keys were immersed in a shallow ocean with the sea level about 30 feet above today's level. Over time, the sea level lowered, exposing a long coral reef to fresh air and direct sunlight. The coral died, leaving its fossilized remains to collect soil that eventually allowed plants to take root. A great location to observe the fossilized coral bedrock is at WINDLEY Key Fossil Reef State Geological Site, mile marker 85.5, Bayside in Islamorada. This entire area is the remains of a quarry developed for the Florida East Coast Railway's Key West extension beginning in about 1906. Railroad construction workers needed millions of tons of fill to shape the roadbed and bridge approaches for this architectural marvel. In fact, the 128-mile-long Key West extension needed over 22 miles of filled causeway and nearly 18 miles of bridges to span the marshy islands and open ocean. The Florida East Coast was truly the railroad that went to sea. By the late 1900s, there was not much left of the old quarry's processing plant. Here is where the fossilized limestone, known as keystone, was processed into the various sizes of fill needed for construction. This is the channel cutter used to cut into the bedrock. The saw cut 5-foot deep grooves into the keystone. The belt-driven cutter traveled on rails and could be powered by either steam or internal combustion engines. Approaching one of the cuts, close inspection reveals many small mollusks and coral fossils which make up the fossilized limestone. It amazes me to think that 150,000 years ago, this was a vibrant 30-foot deep coral reef. Let's leave Islamorada and head down to Key West for a visit to nearby Man Key in the Lakes Passage. About 6 miles west of Key West, Man Key is easy to locate and affords outstanding mangrove diving. Many islands of the Florida Keys are made up almost entirely of the red mangrove. Red mangroves are easily identified by their unmistakable above-water prop root system. These roots transport air to their submerged stems, which are underwater on a permanent basis. The roots are sunk into a sand or clay base, offering protection from the ocean waves. It's a good idea to plan a mangrove dive for high tide. when the inner reaches of the roots are accessible. The rusty brown color of the water is indicative of tannin, produced by the mangrove roots. Years ago, mangrove roots were harvested for the tannin, which was used to cure leather. Diving under and within the roots of a mangrove island is a surreal trip into an eerie netherworld, a strange twilight even at high noon. Tunicates draw water inside with an in-current siphon, filter out oxygen and nutrients with an inner gill net, then expel the water through an ex-current siphon. Deep within the Manke mangroves are a pair of horseshoe crabs. Actually, these strange-looking creatures are more closely related to spiders, ticks, and scorpions than any type of crab. Males, somewhat smaller than the females, clasp onto the female's shell and are pulled into the shallow water at the high tide line. Here, the female deposits her pellet-sized eggs, which are in turn fertilized by the trailing male. As long as you're in the area, be sure to dive the Manke wreck about 1 mile seaward from Manke as well.